Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
It was a solemn plea for peace, another community in Baltimore under siege and grieving in the wake of loss. In this case for a homicide victim, a man named Kendall Fenwick. The 24-year-old father of 3 lived in Park Heights. Last December, he built a fence to keep out drug dealers and was shot dead in retaliation.
This moment is to recognize a young life that tragically left our community too soon.
And so city leaders unveiled a street in his name, a gesture full of symbolism and an unusual recognition in a city where the body count continues to grow.
And Kendall, in life and in death, is making this city better.
Blood ties and bloodlines compare nothing to where love lies.
Most of all, have us come together as community.
Just the night before, 7 people were shot and 4 killed. And yet later in the day, another example of the city's communal pain addressed by city officials, this time in the form of a settlement.
In terms of what we've been able to accomplish working together for the victims of sexual harassment in public housing in Baltimore, there is a class action resolution, which means that our clients who started the case as individuals consented to have the relief spread to everyone.
A potential $7 million for at least 19 women who were asked to provide sex in exchange for repairs at the city's troubled Gilmor Homes housing project.
This goes way beyond the individual situations. It is systemic changes that will ensure that that every resident in public housing can live in peace and dignity and not have to worry about, 1, getting maintenance work done, and 2, certainly not the atrocious behavior of a small group of people who inflicted indignities of indescribable nature on these women and others who've been represented.
But even amid promises of reform, Housing Commissioner Paul Graziano admitted the department's much maligned management had emerged unscathed. In fact, not a single employee outside those directly implicated in the scheme were punished.
What have you changed internally to ensure that people who bring complaints forward are actually seriously investigated? Because that was one of the big problems, it seems, with this particular incident, is that women were ignored. And what have you made any structural changes or any changes to your process for processing those cases?
Well, one thing we've done is we've sent out letters to we sent out 2 letters to every single resident in the housing authority. And we have advised them of a hotline number that goes directly to our investigations unit and to General Counsel's office.
Were any of the people that ignored complaints or brushed them aside disciplined, or similarly to the people who were precipitating these problems? Was anybody in that chain of command discipline?
We're still looking at those situations. There was one person who had actually retired.
It's a lack of accountability that makes some skeptical about a city and its leadership trying to heal wounds that still remain open.
We need to start addressing the major priorities of the needs of the community. A need is something that you can't live without. You can live with a broken doorknob, but you can't live in the winter with no heat.
This is Taya Graham, Stephen Janis, and Megan Sherman reporting for the Real News Network in Baltimore City, Maryland.